Hey YouTube, this is Kevin Boland of Boland Small Engine, and I'm just continuing off my prior video, guys. In the last video, guys, I showed you guys my bow drill set and the bearing block. This bearing block is homemade. I want to note that, guys. All I basically done was took an antler and basically cut a hole out in it, pressed a 6203 bearing in it with an insert, and this thing absolutely works wonderfully. Do I need it? No. I do have natural bearing blocks. I have a few that are made out of stone, one that's made of granite, one of bone, and then of course another one made out of deer antler. But I just want to note that to you guys, okay, that the reason I'm using this is because I have a lot of issues with this knee, and anything that I can do to alleviate pain and make this easier for myself, I'm certainly going to take advantage of that. This hearth-bore, shall I say, is made out of sycamore, as well as the spindle, and even the bow for that matter. I basically took this all off the same tree. So keep that in mind, guys. Without rambling on, I am going to tell you guys that I do have a bird's nest made, and I will, after I get an ember established, allow the ember to build a little bit and explain more about the bird's nest that I have, that I've made out of Tulip Popular, Birch, and some Cedar. Now note, guys, I would add Fatwood, shall I say, to the bird's nest in windy conditions, because I've found that it really helps. But anyway, without rambling on, guys, because I know that my camera batteries are getting low, I'm going to make an attempt to make an ember here. Basically, I've got a piece of paper underneath here as a visual aid for you guys to actually see the ember. That's the only reason that I have that here, okay? So bear that in mind. It's just basically so it'll show up on the camera better. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into this video, guys. I'm really glad that showed up, guys. As you can see, got a pretty good ember going. And as I said, guys, the reason I did it inside the house is because, in all honesty, the weather outside is pretty miserable. It's raining, it's windy, and to be honest, I just don't think that I would have had the same success outside as I did here in my house. Yes, I am winded, as you can clearly see and tell, but you can also see that I've got a really nice ember here. So, as I was telling you guys earlier, this is the tinder bundle, or bird's nest if you will. I made this bird nest out of tulip poplar, a little bit of birch bark, and some cedar. In the other video I showed a natural bird's nest as a comparison, so I think I'll go ahead and show that off here as well. And at this point, all I'm doing is just buying a little time for this ember to catch up. I could easily fan it and help motivate it along a little. And I think I'll do that, because that gives me a little opportunity to catch my wind here, guys. Bow drill is not my preferred method, as I mentioned in the other video, but it is effective and it does work. I'm going to go ahead and grab the pan at this point. I'll just lay it over here, guys. And I'm going to transfer it as well. I think it's grown enough that I can actually do something with it. As you can see, it's right there. As you can see, I've already got a flame. It's actually that simple, guys. With the Tulip Poplar, this stuff is just, it's amazing. As I was telling you with the Birch, absolutely no issues whatsoever. And this will sit and continue to burn forever. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and out it just because I don't want the fire alarms to go off. And smoke up the house. Because if my wife finds out that I'm doing this inside the house, she is going to murder my ass. Doesn't want out. There we go. All I'm basically doing, guys, is just mashing it in on itself. And you can see it's still smoking. So this stuff basically wants to stay lit. Once it's lit, it wants to stay lit. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the camera and show off the spindle, the hearth board, and the bow drill set, as well as the bearing block at this point. As I said, guys, the reason that I didn't allow that to continue burning is because it smokes up the house. And in truth and honesty, I didn't want to risk the pan getting warm enough to do any damage to my wife's rug. She absolutely loves this rug. So the last thing I want to do is destroy it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it, I'll sure say that. And as I said, you know, a bow drill, it's my last resort. But it's still a skill that you need to possess. You need to own it. Everyone needs to know how to make a bow drill. Especially if you're going to be in, you know, in the outdoors. Camping, survival, whatnot, what have you. Okay? It's a good skill and you need to know it. Until next time, YouTube.